Yeah, while I was out today, I thought I'd do a little walk around and look at some of our fruit trees. We planted a couple apple trees. I've been digging the suckers up and rooting them out over the years I've had my other apple trees. This is a Fuji apple, I believe. We got a second one there. We planted these on the line, part of the property line here. We thought, why not put the fruit trees? Be a lot easier. Of course, we got a peach tree here. It's a Bella, Georgia peach tree. I had it in a bucket and worked on it for years trying to get it to do something, and I just could never get it to act right. I finally decided to just put it in the ground and try it. I put it in the ground and it doubled or tripled in size in the first year, so apparently I wasn't doing something right. But it made it right by putting it in the ground. While we're on this end, well, this is a black mulberry. It's leafed out. I haven't seen any blooms. Of course, it's still got the pods on it where it's still trying to get the leaves. It's going to really bush out again. Another peach tree. Alberta Peach. Had to think about it. Got a little problem in the center of these Albertas there. This one's almost looks like it has fire blight from last year, but I always keep the middle cleaned out. It should be good. My elderberry, it's got a whole bunch of runners that needs to be cut off, suckers. I'll probably pot them, see if I can't make some extras. I've made a few over the years. I keep this in the yard. Now another Alberta peach. It's got blooms on it, looking pretty good all the way down. It's got a few dead limbs. Now this was a Gurney's hybrid peach. I don't remember the exact name of it, but it's supposed to be like they grow in the orchard for sale. This is the third year it's bloomed. Maybe we'll actually get a peach off it this year. They've aborted the first 2 years. This tree's maybe 4 years old. It wasn't three or four foot tall, and they sent it to me, and it's doubled and been double this high. It's about 7 or 8 now. I've had to cut it down every year, trim it back. Our Golden Delicious apple's got a few leaves on it. Everything's coming out early and kind of spooky because they're talking about another cold spell coming next week, end of March, 1st April. This is the Fuji Apple we've been getting the suckers off of. It's got a few leaves. This is a new pear tree. I'll have to look at the tag. I done forgot. It's an improved kefir. I got that from Willis Orchards. I ordered a 5 to 6 foot tree, gave a little more for it. I have to say I was impressed. It came in a box. It had been trimmed off, roots and all, was probably 6 foot tall. That was a good sized tree. They trimmed it off quite a bit. You can still see where they cut it out. It's in the ground probably a foot, and it probably was 6. Let's see. This is a pear tree. I don't remember now. It's not a kefir pear, it's a different one, but I had to get something to make this one pollinate. It's not self-pollinating, even though when I bought it, I was understood, I was told it would be a self-pollinating. It did not. So we got this one and got it in place. Another one of my suckers I rated out. We do have a few blooms. I was going to pass this up, but our new grapevines, newer, actually got some buds on them. starting to come out. These are pink grapes, seedless pink grapes. We have worked for about 3 years to get these up to this size. Something always broke them off, something chewed on them, something happened every year. And we never got anything off of them. This year looks a little more promising. Of course, I got my wild blackberries down through here. Got to run to them. This is a crabapple. Dongo crabapple. Last few years it's been doing really good. We've actually made crabapple jelly. It puts on so many. And the water's still flowing good. I do have a few buds starting to come out. This is a white seedless grape. It's probably let's see, it had a few grapes last year. It ought to be the first year it actually produces something. This is a Concord grape. I had 2 here and one of them has died, but this one has took its place pretty well. We get gallons off this one. And it does good. It got caught in a late freeze last year and lost most every one of them. We had a late freeze in the middle of May. They got most of our fruit. This is Olympia Fig. It normally dies all the way to the ground. You can see some of the dead sticks in the middle because it can't take the cold here, but it comes back every year. This year it all didn't die. There's actually still some life left in it. I've never seen this before. It's never made it through our winters, and somehow it managed. It's going to be interesting what the last year's canes can do. Most of the time they look well, more like this one. Some of them has made it. That's going to be interesting. I'm glad I took the walk. I didn't realize it was doing that well. This is a regular old musky dime like you see in the wild. I've done a talk about this one. It was a vine that a nursery gave me because it was broke and they said it wasn't no good. That was a few years ago. We get gallons off it when they try it. I see the start of things, but I can't pick anything out really for the camera. But it's alive and doing good. You can see all the little knots starting to show up on it. This is a Riverbank Grape. And it's coming back out this year. We did have 2. One of them didn't make it after several years. Something happened to it. Right now this one seems to be doing good. You can see where the previous one was. It just died last year around that frost time, when that late frost came. We got a lot of vines to take out, but it was hard to tell which ones was which until the leaves completely died and everything's off of it. We'll see what comes out this year and trim it back. But the Riverbank Grape, along with the musky dime here, is, I think it's actually the one that's got the buds and stuff on it. This is Goji Berry. There's a whole bunch of Goji Berry plants started. It always spreads. They're very invasive. There's dozens of Goji Berry plants out there. I usually dig a few and put them in pots and give them to people. We just have to cut the rest of them. I think there's too many to deal with. This is a sprout off our Lycopene Berry. The big one has died. Every year part of it dies, and It always puts a shoot out and starts again, but in a couple years that will be gone for some reason. They seem to die off and start another one. This is the blackberries. These are tame blackberries. There's one or two on this end. It's the seedless and the thornless, and the rest of them are thornless. But they've gotten mixed over the years, because when one dies, I try to take a cutting or a tip off another one and plant it back. We made a bad decision, and it's been a couple years ago. Cindy wanted to mulch everything, stop all the weed beating and all the weed pulling, so we put down plastic and mulch. Well, the mulch we got apparently had something in it blackberries do not like. And it killed most every one of them before we even realized what was going on. It killed our green apple tree. We had a Granny Smith apple. It killed it off. It didn't hurt nothing else, but just this area here. I don't know if it was something in one of these bags or if it was in all of it, but we're restarting our blackberries. And they're smaller. We had canes above my head on all these. I had 10 big plants, and we got gallons of berries off it every year. Now we're going to have to start over and stake them up and try to get these up to size. But things happen. Well, let's check on the other fig tree while we check on this fig tree, see if it made it. Well, there's a cane right there that's got new starts on it. So these canes did make it. Some of them didn't. Some of them did. Like I said, it's going to be interesting to see how that works, because I've never had it to live through the winter, and we had some cold weather. I don't understand why it didn't get it, but I'll be excited to see what goes on with it. We picked about 4 gallons of figs last year off these 2 bushes. Hopefully we can get it again. I canned them like Deep South Homestead does theirs. Of course, I add a little more sugar to mine. Mr. Danny seems to like his with a little less sugar. I added a little more to mine, but they're really good canned. This video is so long, I believe I cut it in half, but this will be part 1. Y'all come back for part 2.